Cody Dericks with Next Best Picture, and I'm speaking with the director of the new film Hallow, Babak Anvari. Thanks so much for speaking with me today, Babak.
Thanks for meeting me, Cody. Lovely to meet
you. You too. So your movie really, frankly, totally blew me away. I was tense. I was gasping. I definitely said, "Oh, come on now," out loud at some point. It really feels like a nightmare come to life, and I don't even have a kids or drive a car, so good work there.
Yeah, I mean, same, to be honest with you. I always say, like, I don't have children, but I am someone's child, and so is the writer. Will. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the writer. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the writer Will, because in the past you've had a hand in the scripts you've written, including the really excellent Under the Shadow. With this film, it's entirely written by William Gillies. So can you tell me about the difference between directing a script that you wrote and one that was by someone else?
Honestly, there's, I always say I'm open. The reason sometimes I write my own scripts, I mean, this is the only feature that I've done that I haven't written the script myself, but when you have a great collaborator like William Gillies, I don't think it matters much. It's just obviously it was a script that he wrote with this other producer, Ian Henry, and they brought it to us. So there was a draft already when I read it, but I loved the idea behind it. And when I put my hand up saying I know how to make this and I have a vision for it, William was so open about my ideas, and it was just ended up being a very amazing collaboration and a dialogue between the two of us to sort of develop it and introduce some of my crazier, weird ideas.
Yeah. You definitely get out there with some of the visualizations, which I was pretty impressed by.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you said the script, I mean, besides being well written, was there a specific aspect of it that appealed to you, whether that was like a challenge or some sort of perspective of it?
Of course, the 2-3 elements, but like, well, first and foremost, when I started reading it, I was like, I always say us filmmakers love a challenge. So the challenge of like mostly being in a car and me thinking how can I maintain tension for such a long time in a contained space, that was like one of the early hooks. And then in terms of like what the car represents and how it can become like a representation of the parent's sort of psyche, that was like fascinating to me and giving me an opportunity to put the audience really in the parents' shoes, because all they have is their imagination and anxiety. And it was like, I can literally, if I do the job right, I can put the audience in their shoes and make them feel how they feel, and even show what they imagine or how they imagine the events unraveling. So that was all like really exciting to me, and the characters, the couple that played by wonderful Rosamund Pike and Matthew Rhys, they were fascinating, because also they both, what I love about them as characters is that I don't think either of them are in the wrong. Like when you're in that situation, you make weird decisions. I think one of them is trying to be rational, the other one is acting out of emotion, which is totally understandable. You can't blame them.
Absolutely not. I mean, even if you're kind of screaming at your TV, don't do that or do this, it's still, like you said, there's no way to predict how you might react in the worst situation you can imagine.
Yeah, hopefully none of us will be in that situation ever. It's horrific.
Well, like I said, I don't have a car, so I'll be fine. So yeah, Rosamund Pike and Matthew Rhys, you kind of struck gold here with this pairing. Tell me what it was like working with these amazing actors.
Not just saying it heavenly, but it was incredible. I mean, it is a film that like requires two very strong actors, and I was so lucky to get them. And one of the early chats I had with them was like, 90% of this film going to be your close-ups, and like your every little reaction counts. And them being such sort of powerful actors that totally delivered, both of them. And I think also them being on board with all my sort of ideas of like the film kind of starts in a real, more like a real objective place and becomes more and more expressionistic and strange. I think they really responded to that because it just was like tapping into like how like sort of like what the internal world looked like, which it's all connected to characters and backstories, and actors obviously enjoy sort of dissecting that. So yeah, no, it ended up being a great collaboration.
It's obviously a lot of dialogue you put in their lap. There's a lot of specific camera movements to keep the movie, activated and energized. Was there an extensive rehearsal process? I imagine the blocking had to be pretty specific with all these different camera angles you got going on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, because it wasn't a big budget movie, the prep period was limited. I mean, my DP and I, and as well as my editor, had long conversation during prep and like how to chapter the film, and with our lovely sound designers. Like I said, like because the film gets some more and more strange and expressionistic. It was like where the shifts happen and how we can like navigate that. And then with the actors, we had 1 week of rehearsal, but it was them two and Megan McDonnell, who plays the daughter in the film. It was the four of us in a room just going through the script and we even improvised some of the scenes that are like off script, like how the family work, what's that family dynamic look like, and even the argument that you never see in the film. We improvised that, which
Really?
which really helped me sort of rethink and visualize, the opening scene of the film, like literally the very beginning. So that really helped the actors as well to create that bond, and they became like almost like a real family, which it was great. So yeah, that we didn't have a long period, but that's and then on the first day of the shoot. During rehearsal, I told them on the first day, I'm going to just point 3 cameras at them. I'm going to shoot the whole thing from the moment they get into the car all the way to to the end, and one long take, all the car scene basically. And everyone was nervous, even the crew, because as you said, there's like a lot of like lighting and different changes, and visually it shifts. So I said it's a warm up for the cast and for the crew. So we did it, and it was so great that and performance was excellent that some of that very first long take ended up in the final cut of the film.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's like an Olympic level acting feat right there, and directing. Clearly, that's amazing.
Matthew Rhys, as a joke, called me a sadist for doing that, but it ended up being fun.
As long as the movie's good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm fascinated by the fact that, like you said, you improvised an argument scene that wasn't even in the script just for the actors. Was that filmed at all? Are we going to get to see that in a deleted scene, or was that just totally an exercise?
No, it was just an exercise, and it was a lot of fun, and we just decided to do it on set, and we did it, and went on for like half an hour, and it was quite like sort of like harrowing to watch, because I felt like I'm a guest in this household, and I just observing this family like sort of like ripping into each other. So but yeah, we didn't record it, but like I said, it just like really helped me as a filmmaker and the actors, but me as well, like rethinking what the shape of that argument is. So yeah, no, it was fantastic.
Well, the work totally shows, because there is an unspoken energy to the character interactions for the first 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know what they're fighting about or what the daughter situation is, but you can tell they have a very inert knowledge. So good idea. That's really very, very smart. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I want to talk a little bit about the actual shooting process. So was it hard? I know you said you like a challenge, and I can imagine reading the script, you were setting yourself up for a challenge there. Did you find it difficult or kind of exciting to find different ways to keep the energy and momentum up when there's really just one setting for the entire movie?
difficult is exciting, Cody.
right.
Like, honestly, but this is
You
the
got me
thing.
there.
You just constantly want to think, how can what new thing can I offer? And I think that was the thing that really motivated me, and my team, my DP, my editor, everyone, and the actors. But that was part of the fun of it, and and I really, like I said, I really wanted to be in the car with them. You know, films, chamber pieces like this have been made. Like Locke was like a greatest inspiration with Tom Hardy, but I was like, how can I take it a step further? How can I be in the space and you know, everything outside the car we also shot on 60mm film. And then once you go through the windscreen, it becomes digital cold and sort of becomes more and more expressionistic. So wanted to separate the two worlds, the world outside, which is almost like the objective world, with the world inside the car, which becomes more and more subjective. So that was all that was just all part of the fun.
I did notice that 16 millimeters. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it also kind of, to me, it was this digital filmmaking kind of ties into how much of the car scenes are about technology and the phone calls. So
And
yeah,
you feel, you think you're safe within a modern invention, but not necessarily. And I think that was one of the things. And the reason we chose 16mm rather than 35, because it was more grainy, so you
yeah,
could feel the difference. Yeah, yeah,
you do feel it for sure. Yeah, there's a different warmth versus coldness too. That was
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So you mentioned Locke, which I
Mhm.
also thought of even just reading the log line for the movie. But were there any other specific horror movies or thrillers or of any genre really that kind of inspired you while you were making this film?
The Guilty was one of the films that, you know, the Scandinavian film
Yeah.
that William and I, we chatted about. The original Dutch version of Vanishing, just in terms of like how terrifying the idea behind that film is. And in all honesty, one of the big ones was also Blair Witch Project, because of the forest element, and things you don't see can create more horror.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it was like a mashup for someone who hasn't seen the film yet. I think those references, it would be like, what? But yeah, but you can tell, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Not saying
yeah,
anything else, but
yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
yeah. Great, great.
So I always like to ask people who work in the horror or thriller sphere what specifically about the genre of horror appeals to you, because I find that filmmakers, even if they maybe stray from the path and visit other areas of filmmaking, they always seem to come back to horror. It feels like something that calls you back, like some sort of cursed object. So what about it speaks to you?
Well, you know, I'm a man full of anxieties myself. I'm a wimp. So I think it's very cathartic for me to sort of inflict that on others. It's almost like a way of me testing my own inner world. So I love tension. So like horror, I love horror, and then thriller, anything, any story with tension. Again, like I just find it cathartic. And I think horror also specifically, kind of like sci-fi as well. You can use like the language of metaphor and allegory in a beautiful way without being on the nose, or you can be on the nose but get away with it because it's a metaphor for something else. So that for me is also very freeing, if that makes sense when it comes to storytelling. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, I do have a question, and just side note, I can totally cut this out if you don't want to talk about it, but there's a bit of a spoiler, so I'm leaving it at the end if any viewers are listening and don't want to be spoiled yet, please fast forward. But I was taken aback by the fact that you had Rosamund and Matthew also voice the concerned couple.
Yeah.
Rosamund killed it, by the way. I mean, I didn't even know that was her.
Right.
They're so good. Was that something that was in the screenplay, the double casting, or was that an idea of yours?
No, that was something that I came up with. But to be fair to Will, it was one of the lines in the original script that inspired me. The line that no parent wants to be the Charles Monster. That line immediately was like, oh, whoever's on the other side needs to be voiced by the same actors, because it's just it's almost like the shadow side of the parents, like everything they couldn't do, or all the guilt, or all of that, like just that the couple on the other side need to represent that the almost the witchy side of the parent.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I told Rosamund about the lovely animated film Coraline, like the other mother. That was like one of my references for it. And yes, she totally nails it. And if you watch it second time, again, it's a massive spoiler. Hopefully, people read it or hear it, at the very end. But if you watch it second time, she purposely slips out of the woman's voice and goes back to Maddie 2-3 times, and we did that on purpose. Again, just for second viewing to go, oh yeah, it's definitely her. Like just switching. Yeah. But I think first time you're so into the film, it's when she's driving at the very end that I think you may not catch it. But I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah, and Rosamund did an amazing job. She was really concerned. That's all through performance. We didn't manipulate anything, like any of the voices or anything. Hats off to her.
Well, it's really excellent work. And to your point, I did notice a few times where she dropped into that beautiful deep register she has. It's very it's chilling. Yeah. Using them as like a shadow parent. I totally see it. That's how I read it. So I wanted to make sure I was on. But yep, I'm really smart decision there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, Babak, I'm going to let you go, but this was really excellent, and I'm really excited for more people to check out your film.
Thank you so much, Cody. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks.